Welcome to the fungal. We got fun and games, baby. Glad you made it. It's another so-so production. It is June the 8th, 2022. Baby boys, baby girls, ladies and gents, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well wherever you are. See me do the splits right there? One more time. Splits. Splits. How does he keep splits? How does he keep doing it? Very flexible. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gents, let's get right into it. We're doing another outdoor sesh. Enough 6 to 9 in already. You've been down there for an hour and a half, and that's great. What, you put other episodes in the background while you were 69ing for an hour and a half? That's refreshing. I'm so happy to be a part of the fam, and this is what it is. This is all family. We're a gang doing it with the animals. The birds are tweeting, chirping, and you guys are at it as well, like a little, you're a bunch of, going at it like rabbits, going at it like turtles, going at it like fish, going at it like octopus or octopi, going at it like humans, the animals that we are. You know what it is. But enough of that. Let's get right into it. I've been watching a little bit of, today's going to be an extra loose session. I've been watching a couple of videos online. I've been getting inspired, watching a couple of sumo wrestling videos. I'm kind of, I'm beginning to appreciate it for what it is. It's larger men getting together and just smashing against one another, and it's exhilarating. There's a lot of power, there's a lot of force, there's a lot of commitment, so many things to be said. And I for one, I'm probably not suitable to compete in a sumo wrestling competition, but nonetheless, I'm not gonna let a bit of weight issues get in my way. You feel me? Just because these fellas are, 300 pounds and plus, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna engage. Should I see a fellow or a lady that's, and she or he wants to go, and at that point, if we're talking, and you're like, oh, you'll go against a lady? If it's a sumo lady, yes, I would. Who do you guys think will take it? A 400 or 500 pound sumo lady versus your boy. It's gonna be tough. I don't think I've seen any sumo ladies. Are there any sumo ladies out there? Just saying. If it's not a thing, make it a thing. But my mode of attack would be if I'll latch on, baby. I'll jump on you and I'll latch on that tit, dude. You don't know me. Fuck it. Start suckling on them tit is. I will drain your energy, son. You don't know me. I will drain your energy, and that's what I will do. And you're like, you can't do that. It's against the rules, dude. Something's got to give. I'm talking, on a good day, if I'm hydrated, 140, 150 pounds versus somebody who's like, again, 300 plus pounds, 400 pounds sometimes, bigger. I got to be able to do something to defend myself. So that's what it is. I'm gonna resort to outside the box thinking. None of that inside the box thinking. We're on the exterior of the box. I don't even see the box anymore. It's not even a box anymore, is it? It's been opened up. It's like a cross right now. We're standing right in the middle of it. We're at a crossroads. Two roads. Which one are you gonna decide to take? It's that's life. But I've been getting inspired, man, in different ways. Not that, that's what it is. It's like I just wonder, but my mind takes me to places. I'm like, who would, in a competition between a UFC champ versus a sumo wrestler, who would win? And I'm not even talking about like, okay, heavyweight sumo versus, heavyweight UFC. I'm Francis Ngannou versus a sumo wrestler. Who do you guys think would win? I don't know the names of the champs in the sumo wrestling industry, but who do you guys think would win? Francis Ngannou versus, you know, fucking the works. But also, I'd like to also see somebody who's not a heavyweight. I'd like to see somebody like a Charles Oliveira versus a sumo wrestler. Who do you guys think will win? What are the, you know, that's a tricky one. Because at one point, is it size trumps everything? Or that's how you find out, dude. That's how you find out, ladies and gents. Boys and girls, you're welcome. I'll take a piece of that pie, thank you. 5%, 10%. I'm not good with numbers. You cut a slice of the pie, I'ma take it. Just putting it out there. Like others have done it in other parts of the world. We haven't done it. Let's do it together. Vaginas are interesting. Vaginas are interesting on a completely different note. In terms of, I was just thinking about, you know, what are vaginas good for? Aside the obvious, they're good for hiding stuff. They're an extra pocket. They're good for vagina's basically a holster, anatomically speaking, of course, for the male counterpart, nether regions. You know, vaginas they're unique. Just like everything else that's unique about us. As a matter of fact, going about life just trying to, you know, you hear phrases, you'll hear a thing like, oh, we got to get that guy or that lady's fingerprints, because fingerprints are the only things that aren't identical. You get one set. Well, doesn't that rule apply to every body part? You know what I mean? Vaginas are pretty much like fingers, not so much in form and shape, more so in the sense that they're different. You know, they too have a fingerprint or a vag print. You feel me? But that's the thing. They're like, oh, we gotta dust the place to see. We gotta CSI that shit. We gotta dust the place, see if we find any fingerprints. If we find the fingerprints, we find our guy or lady. Why? Because fingerprints aren't identical. What other body parts is there, like, you know, my mind is like, do we have, you know, is there do I have a cock doppelganger out there that I'm not aware of? You know, is somebody out there being my cock twinsy, baby? Is that what it is? Because we should get together. Nothing sexual, but we should, you know, if it's a thing, put them side by side, you know, and then cover our faces. Whose cock is it anyway? But, you know, that's, so for, you know, for us to just be fixating on fingerprints because they're the decisive fact, I say open it up to all body parts. You know what I mean? You find somebody's labia prints, how you know, that's Susan. It's clearly Susan's. Can't be anybody else. We know Susan. That's what I think anyway. You know, just so that we tackle, because, you know, crime may be on the rise or it may be on the dip. I don't know. Everything's fluctuating these days. With the rate of inflation, everything's fluctuating. You're fluctuating, I'm fluctuating. And I say we nip it in the bud from all angles. Why only depend on the fingerprints when you can go really nitty-gritty with it? I'm just putting ideas out there. That's the way we used to do them. Before fingerprints, they used to actually bring in fellas. I'm talking Wild Wild West days when there used to be, you know, you do fingerprints and you do it the old school. I don't know if it's still done this way. Do they, you know, use the ink to, you know, dip your thumb in there and all your other fingers, your index, your middle, your ring, your pinky? Man, we just named all 5 fingers. Times that by 2, you get like 10 fingers. I know 10 fingers. Man, fuck. It's a lot of things. But point is, they used to, you know, bring you in, and the form of IDing people was, you know, it's difficult to, I'm talking before cameras. They dipped your cock in the little ink pad and then they pressed it on a piece of paper, and that way they'd know who exactly they were dealing with. So bring that back. What do you mean it's not been a thing? Let's make it a thing. Just saying, man. Think outside the box. Don't limit yourself. You know, because forensic science can only go so far being reliant on fingerprints alone. That's what I say, man. That's what I does. Milking it, ladies and gentlemen. Milking it. Milking it. Milking, what am I talking about? People are into milking it. People are into milking it. What are you talking about, Robbie Rob? What are you talking about is what you're asking from the future. People are into milking it, dudes, ladies. As a species, the concept of milking it, we're into milking it. I'm not just talking dairy, of course, sure, it started with that, you know? First, we saw some cattle, and then we saw some baby cattle just go to town on mama's tits for that milk. And they're sucking, they're doing slurpees. And then you got thirsty, and you're like, I thought this was the land of milk and honey. And it's right there in front of you, so at least you got half of it, you know? So we start imitating animals. Next thing you know, people were latching on to cows, sucking on cows' teats. And somebody along the line came and said, you know what, let's make this a little bit more efficient. Let's make this a little bit more scalable. Well, what if somebody were to, what if we were to milk the cows manually and then consume the milk after? But when I'm talking about milking, I'm not just talking about dairy, of course. But for the time being, let's focus on dairy. So we milked the cows, milked it, and then we milked the milk. What do I mean by that? We got the most out of milk, out of cows, cattle. You know what I'm saying, baby? Talking milk, I'm talking butter, I'm talking cream, I'm talking cheese, I'm talking carbonated drinks made with milk that are sour that you can potentially find in a Middle Eastern supermarket of sorts, and it'll freak you out the first time you try it. Like, oh, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, it's not too bad. A little fizzy. What is that? Is that a sour note in there? It is. And that's beautiful too, but that's the thing, we milked it. Milk it. That's what we do. We like to milk things. We like to get the most out. That's what I'm noticing about us as a species. And that's today's key concept, underlying tone, is milking it. And we do that with everything. Meats. We milk meats. Poor cows. But yummy also, so it doesn't matter. You know? You kung fu a cow, you jiu-jitsu a cow, you put them in a chokehold, they're knocked out. Next thing you know, they're waking up, they're like, oh, where am I? And they're on a conveyor belt, being, taken a section A, B, C, or a D, depending on which part of the journey they wake up in. But nonetheless, man, they wake up and then we slice and dice these bad boys, but we do so many things with them. We cook them, we grill them, we smoke them, we boil them, we bone them. We even we go so far as to milking that we suck the bone marrow out of the bones of the. Sometimes in the olden days, and still some parts of the world, we even used the skeleton. We'd use the bones for decoration, for tools, for just showing off. God damn it! What is that? It's a cow's hoof. Yeah. That was the old bling. You carry around a little hoof on your, just like, right there. They knew who the big boy was on the block. They knew, clear indicator of who the king of the hill is. You know what I mean? Hooves around your neck, couple of dirty old flies, just, that was the original entourage. They can smell you before you arrive. That's a power move. Bring that back. But we like milking things. And I encourage you guys and gals out there to milk things. Get the most out of life is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a sunny day, get outside, get more sun. Soak up the sun. Remove, all clothing items except the essentials. Keep some intact, but then soak up the sun. I'm talking spread eagle with still, you're still covered, but, or if it's a private, you got a little bit of land, you got a little bit of space, go in there full nude, the way God intended things to be, and soak up the sun. You know what I mean? Just sit on the grass without any undies. Sure, you might pick something up, but isn't that what life is all about? Picking something up and then putting it down somewhere. You know? That's what I say, man. Hope you're all doing well. Where can you find these videos? On the YouTubes, on Patreon, on Instagram. Name of the show is Glad You Made It. You can search Rob Sadri on YouTube and get the full-length videos. Enough of that mumbo jumbo. But I gotta put it out there, because I gotta milk Sid too, baby. Milking it. That's what life is all about, getting the most out of every opportunity. Like right now, for example, the sun is hitting the back of my neck. It's burning. Normally, people would move and adjust and switch position, but I want the back of my neck to be toasty. I want the most toast for the back of my neck. That's just what it is. Not gonna be here not getting my money's worth with the sun. You feel me? I'm not gonna get suckered into not getting enough sun. It's vitamin D for free. Legit vitamin D for free. You know? So you finish the solid set of the 69s, you're like, I sure could use some vitamin D. It's fresh out there. Go get it. Go get it. That's what we did with everything, even bees, baby. We milk, because that's what it is. You arrived and you're like, oh, land of honey and milk. How do you, the milk is kind of obvious because it's blatantly right in front of you. And then the bees, you have to follow those bad boys around to figure out what's going on, first of all. The whole beehive concept. Phenomenal. Inspirational. Admirable. Bunch of bees getting in there and creating the sweet, sweet stuff. And then we take that sweet, sweet stuff and we milk that too. And then when the bees aren't busy already milking themselves, we go to town and start milking the little bees too. Just to get a little bit of speed going behind them. Get a little bit of speed going. Get a little bit of momentum. Sometimes they be taking breaks. We're like, stop. Continue working. Milking. And then we put on some mute. Have you been inside a beehive? Have you heard the kind of, you know, they're all just, you know, bees. Just, you know what bees do. Listen to that techno. Just going to work. Creating that honey. Giving us that delicious, delicious nutrient food. Food of the gods, some said. But good for us too, you know what I mean? It's not just for the gods. That's what it is. But milking it, man, it's a concept that I'm fond of. You know, you see somebody opening up a business, they milk it. Make use of every inch. Got an employee? Milk him. You know, got an oven working for you? Milk it. Making, you know, got all the burners on? The stove's been turned on, turn on more stoves and ovens. Light it up. Turn it up high. Start cooking. Get in the pot yourself, goddammit. Really put in everything you've got. Nothing makes a, you know, it's, they're like, oh, what's in that stew? Stew's in that stew. Stew's a great guy. Stews. That's the name of the store. How does he make him so special? He sits in the pot and makes the stew with a little bit of love, a little bit of sweat, maybe a little bit of bleeding. We've been telling Stu, get it checked out, man. But he's focused on the work. And that's why we love Stu. That's why we support Stew Store. So, that's what it is. Sometimes we milk things that we're not supposed to be milking. In areas that we're not supposed to be milking them. But even then, there's something there. Like for example, right now, Pandy's been over. No more Pandy. Pandy's over. People are happily running around, sharing everything. Sharing, you know, you reuse, recycle, sharing, condoms. You finished, you take it off, you wash it, rinse it, give it to your neighbor. It's just, you know, a little bit of appreciation. You share your, you know, you finish shaving using your special shaving cream and shaving device, blade. Call the next person in your household. It's time to shave. It's time to shave you. Let me shave you is what you'll say. Why? Because I'd like to get the most out of my razor. You know? Right now, I think we're milking the here in Toronto and Ontario and Canada. If anybody's in and around Yonge Street, you'd notice, I don't know, maybe some other cities have done this during the whole pandy. Maybe you started to utilize some parts of the roads as a means of providing space for restaurants and giving it a little bit of extra patio room. So now we've got patios on the streets. Like, it made sense a little bit during the pandy. Not really, because the whole thing was redunk. But I guess, you know, an upside down world that we lived in and partially still do, sure, it makes sense. You know, they've got a space. Let's not use the space and then go on into the streets and restaurant there, cafe there, a bistro there, mom and pop there on the streets. And you know me, I'm a fan of the streets. I was not born on the streets, but you know, brought up, not really brought up on the street, but I've been on the streets. I know the streets. I know when I'm stepping on concrete, when it's been poured roughly, 70s, 80s, a little bit of patchwork, got a pothole, fix it, tackle it. So I know what I'm dealing with. But nowadays, it's Schmandy's over. Schmandy's been over. Everybody's happy, running around sharing new things. Oh, can I lick your monkeypox? Is all the rave. And people aren't noticing that. Should we not get rid of these patios on the streets? Or is that an instance of us milking something a little bit too much? You know what I mean? Because it's weird for everybody. It's awkward for everybody. Whether you're a patron at the bistro, the cafe, the mom and pop, the coffee shop, the tea house, the hookah house, the lounge, the sit down, the gathering place, the watering hole, where some people know your name. About 10% of population knows your name, and they're most often happy and glad that you came. But it's all about customer retention, but at the same time, you don't want just the same old. You want new faces coming in and coming out. So start hanging around the bus and, you know, jump on that bus and then get off the bus and then enter that new coffee shop or bistro or cafe that we just spoke of a couple of 30 seconds ago. A minute ago, 2 minutes ago. What's time? Point is that it's awkward for everybody because you're sitting there eating on the streets, on the side. This is me eating on the sidewalk. Eating on the sidewalk. And then you have the beautiful waiter, waitress, also on the sidewalk coming in with refreshments, with a menu, you know, coming in with your order. And then you got to be worried about, oh, am I going to bump into these guys? And people sitting down are giving you dirty looks, and you counter the dirty looks with more dirty looks, and then the waiter or waitstaff might give you dirty looks. And you're like, nobody's giving me dirty looks. I know, but I'm just a little bit of, you know, amp it up just for the sake of the show. No dirty looks, but there's a sense of awkwardness to it, isn't it? Because you're like, oh man, the sidewalk, it's where, you know, it's for walking. Or the road, it's for driving. But then somebody's like, you know what, let's milk it. And I'm a fan of milking it. God, I'm a fan of milking it. You know me, dog. Me and milking go way back. Way back. Back, baby. So, what do? Do we continue with these concepts? Are we gonna take up whole lanes in the middle of downtown area? You know, where streets are, it's busy. Busy streets. Just putting it out there, man. Ladies, think about it. And I'm not the only one. I've heard this from other people. You think I come in here and just share some sort of... You think I just come in just because it's our gang? You think I would just... You think I'm not going to do research? You think I'm not going to get out there and speak it to at least one more person? One more person? I've spoken with at least one person. And I didn't bring it up, but they brought it up. And she wasn't too happy about it either. So I'm like, all right, I'm not the only one. Looks like everybody, generally speaking, is not down with these patio stitches on the certain areas where it's like you've already got the designated patio area. Bueno, but if you're taking up sidewalk area, if you're taking up the road, if you're taking up the highway, if you're coming into people's homes, you're like, I can't operate my business inside my own property anymore. My establishment is not equipped to cater to the patrons. And for that reason, I must segue into your house and start, serving in your house. And I know that's a far reach, but when will it stop? The firefighters have had enough. That's them showing their support of the show. Thank you guys, ladies. Take it away. They're doing it. You guys can't see, of course, but there's a big old blaze of fire right behind me somewhere in the background of the city. You can't see it, but you'd have to take my word for it. These firefighters are the best of the best. Canadian firefighters, firemen, firewomen, firebots. Best. The best. We don't even let the fires start, bruh. We don't start the fires, but as soon as we notice a fire, we put it out. We at least stomp on it. We'll get a bucket. Nay, we'll get 2 buckets. We'll fill it up with halfway at least with water. Maybe there's some ice in that bucket. Maybe if we put out the fire early, we can go catch a couple of cold brewskis with the gang and then work out in the fire department house, the firehouse, the fire station house, the house of fire. You know what it is, where they maintain fire, where all the fire's at, where all the heat comes from, where beautiful men and women who are always constantly working out and making their own calendars too, and then looking at each other like, oh, Nick, I'm so happy to see you're doing, February's looking tight, Nick. And Nick's like, yeah, dog, thanks. And then Nancy, nice, looking nice in March, Nance. It's a thing. And they're busy lathering each other up. Because you gotta be lathered up. If you think you're not gonna be lathered, don't get into the fire game if you think you're not gonna be lathered. How do you guys think they slide down the little pole uber quick? You think that's just natty? You think Ivan Triber one time, I gave myself all sorts of Indian burns just going, because I'm dry like that, because I'm dehydrated probably a little bit. I drink water and coffee. Don't judge me, but judge me. But one time I decided to get into the game and I passed all the levels, everything, aced everything, from starting fires, from looking at fires, from observing fires from afar, from dancing with the fire, baby. We're dancing with the fire. Fire, contain the fire. Fire, fire. Fucking I put it out, everything. Why? Because when I get passionate about something, I give it all I've got. And that's what it is. But unfortunately, they're like, okay, all right, Sadri, that's what they call me by my last name. They're like, all right, Sadri, you've passed all the levels of the examination exams. And all the testing of the tests have been mandatory, and you've aced the tests. You're an acer. You're a test acer. You're taste testing. We'll have some lunch together after this is done, but you still need to finish the final round, the final test, the final quest, the final battle We need to see if you can slide down a pole, goddammit. I'm like, I'm super great at climbing up on poles. I've never dabbled in sliding down. I'm really good at, put me at the bottom of a pole, I will just, where'd it go? Fucking up there, baby. Can't even see me. That's why I can't go to strip clubs. As soon as I hit the dance floor, 2 seconds later, you're like, can we get you a lap pass? Can we get you? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm up there. Look up there. Where? Up there. Hanging right around the disco ball. Shiny, shiny, shiny disco, disco. So what happened is that the firehouse chief captain, commander in chief of staff, commander of fire captain. Our captain's fire, Bray. He's like, can you slide? I'm like, I'll give it a try. But then I grabbed onto the pole. I grabbed on and I wouldn't let go. They're like, let go. They're like, let go of the pole, you'll slide down. And I just couldn't. There was something. And I did at one point too. I started to let go, but I let go and I was just on the pole. Something that, I don't know what I'm a little bit buoyant, I think. Too buoyant for fires, they said. They're like, oh. The same guys. Yeah, we're still cool. I still support you. They're like, only 2 types of people can't get into the fire station house. 2 types of people that we're not cool with. Flat feet people and people who can't slide down the pole. A little tear came out my eye. It was allergy season, so that's normal and natural for me, but nonetheless, it's not like I didn't have an emotional afternoon. It's not like I didn't go home and cry about it. It's not like I didn't go home and I'm like, you know what, I'll start my own fire station. But then I gave up on that dream real fast. You realize how much goes into it, and you're like, man, I can't do this all on my own. First, I'm gonna need a house. I need to get staff. Where do you even find the poles? How do you hire? So many levels. Too many compartments. Things got out of hand fairly quick. Oh boy. But we managed to escape. It was fine. We pulled it all together, but at least I gave it a shot. Not really, but you know what I mean. So whenever I see somebody trying to milk it, I'm all for it. You want to milk the streets? I get it. You're like, what are we doing with these streets? Can we get more out of it? In that aspect, I'm there with you. Let's get more out of it. You know what I mean? That's why I'll go and I'll lay on the streets just to get the most out of it. Because what's next? If we're dining and we're whining on the streets, on the side, what's next, fam? Perhaps more leisurely activity? And the thing is, fam, is that most days during the week, especially in the morning hours, even up until noonish, these lanes are just occupied, and you'd see tables that are upside down, inside out, tables that are convulsing. A mosquito of sorts, or a fly, or another bug that flies. But I'm not fazed. I don't let anything get between you and I. The show must go on. You are a professional, goddammit. Put on a show. That's what we do. Never stopping. So yeah, in the morning hours, you'd be until the afternoon. These spaces are just occupied by pylons, by flipped over inside-out chairs and tables, and by red tapes, fam. Yellow tapes around the orange pylons, but it's a metaphorical red tape, as in you can't get in and you can't get out. And it's like, where can we go? There's plenty of space, and I agree. Yes, there is plenty of space, but why are people? So in that case, like, do I need to open up a restaurant? Can I just go on the sidewalk and be like, hey fam, restaurant, pub, bistro? They're like, where's your license hung? They're like, where are your chambers? Where are your borders? Where are your ceilings? We're cooking outside. You know what? We're serving raw, because that's what we do. We serve everything raw. That's right. Instant made. No, freshly made, instant, microwave fresh. Plastic in the microwave. It's what we do. Frozen, never fresh. That's our motto. No, wait. Couple of days old. Savory. Point is, where do we draw the line? Because right now we've drawn the line, and it's on the streets. And I'm okay with it if you're okay with it. And I'll stop talking about it when you want me to stop talking about it. But I will milk it if you want me to milk it. I will do it, then we can expand. Because we've taken one lane. Let's say we take up another lane. Whoa, Twilight Zone. What happened there? 2 lanes now? What are you doing? Pick a lane. It's like, where's the roads? Where are the cars going now, dude? Because what happens? You've picked a lane. Cars are going down 1 lane now. You take another lane. CO2's just got solved because there's no more room for cars. Is that what we're doing? Are we doing a little? Is this are you coming? Are you coming to the gang with a sidewalk psyop? Is that what's happening in broad daylight? No, okay, but I'm watching you. I'm watching every move you make. Every step you take, I'll be watching you. So, together, as a species, we love to get the most out of it. And I want you to get the most out of your summer days. Because these days are limited days. Oh, it's not like the days that'll last. Not those typical days that'll just say, where's this guy going? This day is never gonna end. It's not one of those days. Today's the day it's time to have a baby. God damn it, it's enough is enough. It's time for you to propose. It is time for you to propose. You've been watching for some time now, and you're like, man, I wish there was a sign to tell me if I should propose to my girl. Fucking do it. This was the sign you're asking for. Who cares if you've not saved up enough money? What's money anyway? What's money anyway if it's just a means of exchange? But besides that, what's love got to do with it? No, wait. You know what it is. It's time you put a ring on it. It's time that, sure, it might not be the fanciest ring. It might not even be real gold. It might not even be a gold colored ring. Let's go with silver. What happened to just putting a ring on it just for the sake of just putting a ring on it? But then we're like, let's milk the rings. How do we make more rings with more milk? We're like, let's add jewelry to it. Let's add little shiny stones to it. Let's milk this ring. So we got this little tiny ring, and it's supposed to save whatever you're supposed to. Don't be stupid. If you want to get together with somebody, do it. Today's your day. You're gonna propose today, goddammit. She's gonna say yes. And I want you to go in a stadium packed with thousands of people, like-minded individuals who want nothing more for you to be. They want to see your happiness. They also get a kick out of it if she says no. Let me just put it out there, because and at that state of mind, it's just like, you know, you're still a winner in our books, in our eyes, because look how much happiness you brought to the people. Look how much joy through you did that. You did that. You decided to take one on the chin. You're like, you know what? I'm going to put it all on the line if I should get rejected by my girl, or reverses. Maybe you're proposing to your man, or maybe you're a homosexual couple. It's time for you, lady, to start proposing to that other lady. Get it together. You've been together for long enough. Not long enough? When's it gonna be? Can I come? I'll be the ring bearer. The flower boy? Dudes. Ladies. Tired of regular tiny fucking flower boys and flower girls who are just a bunch of incompetent idiots, fools, because they're so tiny. Barely any life experience, and it's your special fucking day. It's your special day. You want shining lights upon you. If there's gonna be lights shining upon anybody, it's gonna be you. What am I gonna bring to the table? How am I qualified for this table job? I bring flashlights. And I'm not just talking about like lit flashlights. I'm talking about flashlights. You're like, you know what? We're good. We don't like to use toys. Fine. But look how well I handle flowers. Look at this. Look at this. Look how natural I look. Hold on. It's wedding time. Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride. And then, no wait, do I go before the bride or after the bride? Before the bride. I'm before the bride, that's right. Look at this. No more flowers in sight. Clear the, because you have little munchkin fucking shotties over there with the look at me, I crap my pants, just dropping the flower right there. How many times must the wedding get ruined because a flower child doesn't know where to dispense the flowers? How many brides have fallen and slipped and broken their hips, and the entire marriage got canceled on the spot because the groom was all like, yeah, I'll get in there. It's, you know, it's fucking till death do us part, in health and in sickness. But he was a fugazi, wasn't he? Because as soon as he saw you get into sickness, he's like, I'm not ill with it. He's like, I'm not ill with it. You you broke your hip. I'm not gonna, not supportive. That's not, and you know what, for that, it's good that it happened then. It's good that it happened there. So you opened up your eyes, sister, so that you're looking clearly at everything that's right in front of you. You're worth so much more than this. That guy's a piece of shit. If he doesn't love you for your broken hips, so what? You can find another man. Or again, if you're a homosexual couple, lady, is your lady not appreciative? Find another lady and then propose to her. Today. It's today. Because I'm tired of you. You're like, man, I've been indecisive. I can't make a decision. Milk it. Get the most out of that relationship. Are you tired of like, not getting the most out of that relationship? Have you tried milking it? Have you tried putting a ring on it? Have you tried proposing in public? Have you tried pouring your heart out in public? And then maybe writing a note? Maybe writing all your feelings on a little note, and then you fold it, put it in your pocket, and then surprise her. That's how you're gonna do it. Surprise her. Dump her the day of. Break up with her. Get away from her for a good 6 to 7 hours. Don't text. Don't call. Eventually, she'll be like, this guy's on crack. And maybe, but no more judgment. No more judgment, guys. Because that guy might be on crack, but he's still got so many positive attributes. It's harsh for us to, you know, go super hard on our bro just because he's got a little bit of crack problem. Look at all the other things he's doing or she's doing. Point is, you break up with her. That's right. You want to keep her engaged. Keep her engaged. The keyword, engaged. You want to get your money's worth. Break up with her. Get her emotionally just, what have I been doing with this guy? 7 years of my life, and he just out of nowhere, out of the blue. And then don't text her. 7-8 hours goes, and then she finally texts. She's like, I want you to meet up with me so we can have one last conversation. I want to get to the bottom of this. And you text back something along the lines of, yes, I too would like some closure. I'd like to get some. I'd like to, yeah. Throw her out on it, and then you and then she probably, you know what? Oh man, you're like, meet me at the stadium. Meet me at the Jays game. And she's like, are you insane? You're like, yeah. Meet me at the Jays game. Or Toronto FC game. Or a Maple Leafs game. You're a little bit of a baller. You can afford to go to Maple Leafs games. You do it at the Maple Leafs Ballers games. On ice. Put it on ice. Go on the big telly. Pay the fellas, I don't know how it works, but slip in a couple of $100 bills in their pockets. Get in there, get in their space. Nobody likes people who just hand them $100 bill. People like it when you get into the space. Tuck it in there. Tuck that $100, like the fella or lady in charge of the Zamboni. Lift his G-string, slice it in there. The thing is, fam, right now she's arrived at the stadium, the ice stadium. and she is angry. She's upset. Maybe she's even brought a couple of friends for backup. And they've always hated your guts, but this is how you get rid of them, fam. This is how you take your love and remind her that she no longer needs those toxic friends in her life. The good ones are good, but you know what I'm talking about. The haters. The ones that are be like always shit talking behind your back. That's not appealing. You've already set your boundaries. You have a great group of friends. That's fantastic. But nonetheless, I'm sure as soon as they hear the news that you guys broke up, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we're fucking team. You know, we're team. We're team Desiree. We're team Desiree. Desiree and her friends are upset at you, and you go there with a box filled with them jewels tucked in your nads. You put it in your rectum, dude, because you don't want to lose it. And then you get there, and her friends are taking off, removing the earrings, removing the fake nails, removing the fake eyelashes, removing the fake tits, taking out the lipo on their butts, taking off their heels and putting on some shin pads. They're sharpening the blades. They went into the locker rooms of the ice skaters, players, hockey players, and they got their blades and they're sharpening them because they've got alternative agendas. They're like, man, if we keep these blades sharpened, maybe one of these baller ice hockey players will get us pregnant, hopefully. Multitasking. They got two birds in one mind and one stone. So you're there. You're like, and she goes like, what have you got to say? What have you got to say to all of it? What is this? And then you're like, I've had enough of, and then you get down on two knees. Classic. You get down on two knees and you ask her. You're like, Desiree? Baby? Baby boo? Desi baby? Baby, I can't live without you. All my life, I've been walking this earth, not knowing what life is all about. Desi baby, when I saw you kicking that can of Coca-Cola in that back alley behind that nightclub that we met and hooked up, and you blew me, I knew right then and there, baby Desiree, that you're the one for me. And sure, you're like, there have been moments where you've had your doubts, and baby, Desiree, I just want to let you know that I've had my doubts too. But all I need to do is lock eyes with you. And when I lock eyes with you, and there's nobody else around, no more distractions, no phones, no Facebook, no Instagrams, the only thing that's on our mind is gladyamadeit. That's when I know that everything's gonna be A-okay. And then all of a sudden, the ugly girlfriends, the fucking ugly girlfriends, dude, they start fucking bawling out, crying. They can't, because you've hit them. You've hit him right there with the word they're like, he can't express emotions. He's not capable of being an emotional fellow. Well, guess what you did? You wrecked him. Waterworks, dude, the entire stadium is now filled with people's tears. Tears have filled the entire ice hockey rink, platform, stadium. It's a state of emergency. And who doesn't want to exercise a state of emergency? So it is, and that's what it is. But as soon as everybody starts to drown, you and Desi, baby, you and Desiree can swim off and use the other bodies that are piling behind you to just leave everything behind. Forget about them. You don't need them. All right, rescue a couple of the good ones. Like I mentioned, you probably sussed out just suss them out. The ones that are a little bit sketch, suss them out. The ones that are supportive, who are there for your love, keep those within the circle. Everybody else has got to go. And take everything here and apply it to your life directly, 100%. I don't want you to, don't take any of these with a grain of salt. Word for word, literal. Take everything literal, God damn it, because why? I want you to milk it. I want you to get your money's worth. Get your money's worth. That's what it is. You think we're not gonna... Containing fires. Where'd the fire go? Where'd the fire go? If I could only slide down the pole, baby. Too bad I can only climb up. Too bad that I'm only genetically gifted with climbing poles and not sliding down. God damn it. Boys and girls, I love you. Ladies and gents, I love you. Milk it. Get every ounce out of life as you can, and I'll be back here again on Friday. Spread the word. Talk about it. We're taking over like an infectious disease that was probably most likely made in a lab somewhere, but we're way over that. Way over that, fam. There's more of that. There's plenty more of that. There's more of that where that came from, and there's more of that, and there's plenty more. So much more. So much more. Because we like milking. We're not gonna stop at milking it. We will never stop. Milking it is our motto. I love you, fam. I'll be back here again on Friday. Talk about it. Peace.